Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's North and G2 for the DreamHack Masters Grand Final, and we are almost ready with map number 2. Feel good, Moses. That turned out to a very, very good map towards the end. Very interesting, but G2, they ran away with it.
Yes, they did, and that was so exciting. I'm pumped to see. I think North has had enough time now to get into this game. I think we're going to see a completely different North than we saw on Inferno, and definitely not at the start. But I mean, even so, like, Config is just probably the most exciting player in that server. It was absolutely crazy. Also, you saw Kenny S lighting up the scoreboard, lighting up the kill feed towards the end of Inferno. This map's much more open. This map is much more friendly to oppers.
It is. That's the thing you have to worry about if you're a North fan. Obviously, the idea that Kenny could completely run amok, but on the other side, if anyone steps up and wants to help Config out, that might be a good sign for North.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think he'd much appreciate that. Valdi's a good candidate for that. We know he's got a lot of skill, but obviously someone you're going to need. AZ, we mentioned a lot of him on Inferno, having a very slow start individually. But then, I mean, you really have to look across the board in this North team and say that same thing for pretty much everyone, because Cajun's going to be the one that decides the duels against Kenny S. He's going to be someone who's going to have to lock him down, because Kenny, even if he gets that first kill, Cajun, you have to expect, is going to be holding for the repeak. And we saw Kenny win that battle on Inferno a couple times.
Well, here it comes. Make some noise. G2 and North, and map number 2. We have a very common split coming out. AC, though, 3 men coming right at him, and Kenny jumping like a madman, still going down, and now Config looked like he almost got caught in the corner. He's got a USP in hand, and MSL gets 1 kill. Config with a headshot, almost out of bullets, but fading back behind the wall. Explain that to me, Moses.
There it is. It's beautiful stuff. Tapping away, not committing to any of the fights. We saw what G2 did with the Glocks at the beginning of Inferno. They destroyed everyone so quickly. This time, AZ stays alive a little bit longer, but Config gets great positioning. They aren't expecting it whatsoever. Just making sure that he always is quick to get back into cover.
All those 3 kills at long seem to be very dirty kills. I thought for sure AC would have gone down. It's a good job, Kenny, just trying to make himself hard to kill. But this round, not so easy to play on the T side, even if you have C-sets here. The range is just so far for these rifles to work, and North are taking this very seriously. They have 1 UMP.
Right, and even if you do get the kills, you know, a couple kills maybe pushed up, there's no utility on the G2 side. There's 1 smoke, so I mean, you got to run the gauntlet into a bomb site. You have a lot of range, a lot of ground you have to cover on the T side to even just get into the zone to plant. And yes, you could see with all these rifles, Valdi keeping his distance, pretty much everyone keeping their distance. Even MSL is playing outside of drop zone. It is a heavy lean towards the A bomb site, so if MSL goes down, there's a chance that Valdi could have enough pressure applied to him.
It's going to be really tricky, isn't it? They do get the timing down walking out, but good counter flash, and he's safe in that corner. He knows they're not going to have a Molotov to clear him out. MSL coming in with a great utility, helping out. Does flash himself, but ultimately Valde and MSL to combine for a couple of great kills, and only Cajun went down. So I would say par for the course in a round like this if you're North. This is what the round should look like.
Yeah, phenomenal. And that's what we want to see, because one of the things that's propelled North to this grand finals in this tournament has been the teamwork between 2 players. It's just been, you know, the small unit teamwork of juggling the aggression. MSL and Valdi do a great job of that. The flashbangs for each other, and they hold B platform very well against, yes, just pistols, but those can be tricky. We've seen it happen. Cajun's going to be on just a USP in this round, not buying up for the AWP in the next round. But it's just Glocks, no armor. So North, this is already completely different from Inferno. They should be out to a quick 3-0.
Yeah, they don't look too scared either. I like the idea that they're playing a bit aggressively in middle and long like that. Just, you know, showing themselves. Also, I think just proving to themselves that they're not, you know, that scared of G2.
I've always wondered if there's anything going into the thoughts of an in-game leader or a coach, maybe if someone has a bad game in the first map of a series, do you test them early on the second map as well? Do you kind of go at them? So I'm wondering if we'll see that at a G2, if maybe the first few rifle rounds they already know AZ plays in these A halls. Maybe you go to that A bomb site a little early on just to see what he's got.
Kenny's gonna find him with a Glock, so could be an interesting theory, maybe something that we can interview someone and find out later. Config obviously going to be close here. A little bit of a grenade. An impressive kill from Kenny, and that's super important. Again, in terms of getting that AWP later. A couple of kills like that, one of them with the UMP. gonna help him out. That's 3 in the back for North. Got a bit of a bump in the road in this round.
We'll see what G2 is going to come out with. Kenny, you're exactly right. That bonus from the SMG is going to help propel him to an AWP. He can even get head armor behind it, so he's going to be very happy with that considering the second round buy that they had. All AKs across the board, and we have a double up setup right in the opening round from North. Config has one, Cajun has the other. Will it catch them off guard? Config's playing long this round, and he's just holding an angle, a little bit passive. Cajun towards the B bomb site. Just standard stuff out of this North defense.
It's not a bad grenade on Shox and Body. It's actually quite far back from Valde. Shox being pushed up like this, and Valde gonna try and push him. They know that he's up there. Cajun's gotta be worried. Flashes in, and Kenny gonna win the fight against Config. And they probably know that AC's somewhere here. Gonna go for the peek, and Kenny again with a refrag. So well timed, throws the AWP over the side to make sure that no one can pick it up. And now there is only one man on the site, and that's MSL. The last couple of North players are far away, and Kenny's ready and waiting. A bit of a shoulder peek coming in. That's actually very smart from MSL. At least knows that Kenny's still going to be here. Valde out in the open. He could take it taken down. MSL would have to be an absolute hero to save this round. He's going to get the 1 kill on Kenny. It is a start and trying to fall back, but they're everywhere on this bomb site. And just looking to take him down. A bit of a rotation has happened as well, and MSL with a headshot taking down one. Shox finally going to cancel him out, and a stunning headshot. Shox taking down Cajun, who had the angle.
He did. It looked like he might have unscoped, but that's great. It's a little bit of pathing issues for North on the rotation over. And the great thing about it is that play from Kenny. He gets those 2 kills, gets up towards the end. Even though he's holding that angle and MSL baits out the shot, that doesn't tell North anything. They don't know how many players are actually doing it. They're saying, all right, Kenny got 2 kills. He's only here because he knows he has the space. They don't actually know if the hit's impending, and that causes Valde to take the rotation through the double doors. That was a bit of a mistake. He was the closest reinforcements, and he gets taken down. Brilliant from Kenny, and there's Shox spamming right through. That's how Inferno began.
Very upsetting. Grenade doesn't really do enough to NBK. And they're still stuck in that very confined space here at Danger. We've got to be very careful. Spot out the gun barrel of Body, and they're going to try and make their way back, but sort of falling back like this when they're already over long can be very dangerous. Nice improvised boost, but not good enough. Config has gone down, and AZ's trapped, and they know where he is, and they've got the grenades. UMP in a corner. I don't see this working out. Body with a good kill. And do they realize? They know. Great communication, because I don't think Apex saw that. That must have been from the middle, so a great call coming out from G2, leaving MSL to try and pick up the AK and make a run for it.
This has been a sick round from G2. Really, really nice. Obviously, that boost that North pulls out, it's pretty tricky. It almost catches him off guard, but once you see that boost, you know there's a second player on the ramp. That's why you see that flashbang come in so nicely timed. MSL, I don't think he's going to be able to get away with this one, although G2 isn't committing to the hunt. Body's waiting for the smoke to fade before he pushes in through connector. Shox just has him boxed in. And if Shox dies here, there's an escape route for MSL, and there's the crouch peek. Very, very committed. Still some ways to go, but he's going to get there.
Yeah, back around the corner, and nobody's close enough by to catch MSL here, so unless he keeps running into T-spawn, maybe. The IMBK stopped on the other side. So, saving an AK, that's the silver lining, but really, the story of that round, obviously G2, and just winning some of those early fights again.
Yes, they're attacking the A bomb site specifically, right? That's the first 2 gun rounds we've seen go towards that A site, and they've really exploited it, so it'll be interesting to see how North responds to that, because obviously you can't leave B weakened for too long.
You know, typically the bomb site that's hard to hold on this map for any new viewers is actually the B bomb site. So if G2 switch their focus into that, be interesting to see what North can do. They do have a 4-man stack, so only MSL on the other side.
You even saw some cool things over at B for G2, though. When they were holding passively on that default, MSL throws the deep smoke so they can get aggressive up the broken wall. And as soon as they see that smoke fly over, G2 just drops a Molotov. So if he jumps up, he's jumping into flames. And that really prevents them from taking too much damage or losing too much of the map from such an aggressive play. There's a stack at this B bomb site behind the fountain. It's going to be Config boosting MSL. Oh, no, I thought it would have been the AK. It's the other way around. So Config is here.
Yeah, USP stack just doesn't sound that dangerous.
Oh, it doesn't, does it?
Kenny was certainly ready for that boost. Config goes down. They know what's up. Valdez gone next, and the whole bomb site completely cleared out here. Sharks making absolutely sure anybody in there, chickens or humans, they're going to be gone.
And MSL's pretty close, hoping for, I guess, 1 kill, but he's got to be careful that he's still able to get away afterwards. This AK would still be very nice to bring into the next round. This is the bomb site where it's going to get really scary. We've obviously seen Kenny be so effective over in A-halls, but if you really get him to be able to swing wide and have the space on this B platform, peek towards the bomb site, peek towards chicken coop, towards the double doors, that's where he's going to get deadly. It's so much open space. Hiding in plain sight as well, MSL, I guess you'd put it.
Yeah, he's done a very good job so far. He's got a lot of kills. 9-1 is the scoreline, right? He's only died the one time, so, I mean, that's something going right. We sort of expect that later on Config is going to be joining him for a lot of kills. He's got 5 so far, so it's not too bad, but could be more on the line here. Score is tied up at 3-3. Investment into the AWP for Cajun. And Config not going to go with 1. That's fine, but G2, they're back on track.
They tried it. Remember, that was where Config was pushed up in those A-halls, and it was a flashbang over the wall and a quick Kenny peek took him out of the action real early on. So maybe he just doesn't want to mess with Kenny with the ops. Presence again for North in the A-halls, and this might be their response to how much has been put on there, but G2 circumventing it. Very fast pace towards B platform. Shox has the angle towards Cajun. Didn't win the fight initially, though, and they're just going to give it up. They don't want to be around for the barrage of nades and flashbangs and Molotovs that are going to come in, but the nice thing for them is that it actually takes a lot of counter utility away from the defense. Look at the nades they have to work with.
Valde getting close here. Body with a great crouch, winning the fight with the Galil. AC with 1 in return. Just dropped Apex. So 4 on a 4, which will still favor G2. It's a bit of a shame that NBK only has the Mac 10, but maybe he could come exploding out. Cajun, you see how uncomfortable he is here. Looking at both the angles, it's definitely not easy. Flashes in, but good shot with the AWP. Has to do a bit more. It's not done yet. MSL to help him out, dropping NBK, who is coming out, and MSL with another headshot. This is not the player you're normally looking for to put all these kills on the board, but I think they'll take it anyway. Now, they just have to leave Kenny alone. 40 seconds. He's such an incredible player. You don't want to give him the chance here. Molotov goes a bit to the side. Cajun can still stand his ground. It looks like Kenny's going to be falling back. So, a round for North here. And actually, MSL. Have we checked him?
I know, we mentioned yesterday, this is probably the most, switched on he's seemed in some time. But still, great job by Cajun. Yeah.
Would you go so far as to call this the MSL era, Moses?
I think.
Can I get those words out of your mouth?
That's a you thing that you've been saying all day long.
Oh man.
We already had one of those, a full weekend of it.
We had a whole weekend, yes. 4-3. I think North are going to be quite happy if they can get up to 7-ish rounds on the first half here. Should be comfortable for them. If they win the next one, though, G2 definitely won't be happy. That's most of their economy gone, so need to keep fighting here.
And North is looking to put a stop to these kinds of A plays, and this is where you should do it. You have 3 players here on the defense. AZ, Config, and MSL. Apex spamming through, just a little bit luckier, and he might be able to take down Config. Walking down the stairs among a hail of bullets. It's always awkward if the smoke fades. Who's going to win it? This time it's going to be Config, although AZ was spotted out, so Apex calls out 2 players here. Next up is Kenny. There's the shot. Config tries to bounce. Oh, the no-scope is a leg. That's unfortunate. Kenny almost had it, and they've spotted a 2nd player in the smoke, and again, Config has to dodge bullets to fall back. Close calls all around, but North is aware of everything.
Well then, you want to say that they're definitely going to win this 2 versus 4, but there's an alternate timeline out there, Moses, where Kenny gets that kill and they just collapse on the last player on long. That was very close. Closer than maybe it seems. Config, though, still playing aggressive with 15 health down at the bottom of ramp. There's only 20 seconds left, so NBK and Body, maybe they could do some damage. The shadow showing. You see MSL pre-firing it. Getting that kill. Body's taking down Config. Finally, he falls, but 10 seconds. Can they find the AWP? There it is, Body. That is a wise decision. Gonna have to fall back. 13-1 on MSL.
That's not bad, is it? No, well, we mentioned, and I think the Dust did as well, you need someone else to step up next to him, and why not have it be MSL? Anyone, really, and taking some of the weight off Config's shoulders, you can see how much it helps. 5-3, 2 rounds in a row on the gun rounds that they've won. That was something they couldn't do on Inferno, the string rounds together. And now passing over the AWP to Kenny. This is going to be a buy up from G2. Not fully invested. Kenny's still got 1,400. Body and Shocks, 500, 900 still in the bank after this purchase, but a lot of faith in Kenny with the AWP to get something.
He's controlling that whole yard out on the A side. And that's a good kill again. MSL going to win the fight, but Apex is there, revenging NBK with a CSAT 75. He does drop down to 2. Cajun hiding by the chicken coop. The thing is, they do have the Molotovs to burn him out, so if he misses a couple of shots from back there, could punish him really heavily. They could also punish Valda for being in that corner, so I think there's a way for G2 to win this round. They just need a couple of good grenades to start it off with. Valda gonna put one into the drop. That's at least gonna buy some time, but Kenny is there to take him down regardless. And they're gonna do the counter boost out. They realize AC's gonna be there. Grenade. Oh, did he just shoot at the grenade?
I think he tried to shoot it, maybe knock it away, but didn't work. Cool idea. Cajun again with the op, though. He's been effective here in the past. Smoke's gonna block his vision. Still, just one shot in survival would be great, and he hits it blind. I think he sees the legs as they come through the smoke.
That's not bad at all here for Cajun. He's got AC on the other side. He's a bit paranoid about that drop position. Almost being forced out here with the Molotov, but Shots goes down. AC with an important kill, double in the round for him. And now Kenny sneaking onto the side, missing a chance once. He's only got 23 seconds, gonna be running right back into Config. And that is a massive string of rounds here for North. 6-3, timeout has been called for G2. There's a different feeling in the air in this round for North, isn't there, on this map?
There is. This is phenomenal out of North. They're going to be very happy with this one. I'll tell you what, it's the Riflers. It is the scoreline of MSL. It is guys like AZ who are winning this map so far for them, because you could see Cajun, when he takes one shot at that pillar or at the statue, he doesn't want to peek again. He knows Kenny's entire job is just, even if his teammate falls, just grab the angle and just punish the repeek, and Cajun's not giving it to him. And the issue is, if Cajun's Riflers fall around him, he has to repeak. He's got to do something, but because they're so effective, because MSL's gotten a double, a triple kill in defending them and preventing them from getting to the site and pressuring Cajun, Cajun can just hide there, just wait out the time. He can be very safe and comfortable behind that statue.
Moses, whatever happened to the good old Suka Rush B tactic? Where does that come out from G2? We need that right now, I feel like.
I guarantee we'll get that. Some round, we will find it.
I am waiting for it. It has, I think, a pretty high success rate, because what you really just need is the one first kill. And if there are only 3 men on the bomb side, you kill the first, then good chance it just collapses right away. I think it's worth the investment to do it at least once or twice in the first 15 rounds.
Yeah, why not? Heaven forbid they find the timing where North is playing 3 players out towards A. This is a bit dicey for Config. He gets taken out, but AZ's there for the cover. Oh, what a transfer over to NBK. Instant headshot. Body's entire goal here with the AWP. One more kill. Do the economic damage. Force one more rebuy. Force a drop of a weapon. Or you could just throw away the AWP. Make sure that if they want to have the double AWP setup, they can rebuy it. But he's going to go for the win. It's a nice shot on Cajun. Both AWPs down.
MSL hiding by the cannon in the corner. It's a hard position to check, because when you get up to that corner, there are a lot of other places you'd rather be looking.
I'm telling you, I think you should throw the AWP away, pick up the rifle, and go from there.
Let's see what he does. He doesn't have any armor, so maybe he doesn't want to fight any kind of extended spray fight.
No, but the percentage of winning this is still pretty low, considering all the corners he has to check. Keep the AWP out, make them invest the money, because the double AWP is very expensive. We know that.
Just imagine if he Molotovs the cannon corner instead. Body turning his back, and he's going to be jumping up. Doesn't look like he's aware, and MSL will get the kill. Still, that's an incredible effort from Body.
Yeah.
And you have to appreciate that that round might have been lost if AC hadn't got that unbelievable, all gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, could have been a 2v2. Could have been a further danger for North, but still, they have to invest a lot of money back into this, and you have another big buy out of G2. They need to figure out a way to flush Cajun out of that site, and I think the answer would have to be, yeah, you could put Kenny on the platform with the AWP and maybe have someone with him, but maybe put 2-3 down drop to be coming out to force Cajun into the opening. They just haven't had success in drop. They've got some players down it at times, but no real progress after that.
Shox is taking a bit of damage over at the plateau. And Apex was having a strange fight with Config through the wall, but ultimately nobody's really connecting, so they're all set up. This boost onto the box is very effective if they forget to throw a Molotov. You can easily land a Molotov on that box, and then Vald is actually in trouble because then he's falling off as they're coming in. If they forget about it, though, it's a very powerful position. And he's actually got it cornered towards the drop instead. This could get interesting. Another Molotov being put in, trying to buy a bit more time here. It's looking like a crunch on that B-bomb site. Now they've given it away. That one shot with the AK, a definite giveaway. MSL winning the first fight and almost getting the second. That's damn close. Valde goes down after a quick trade, but that drops the bomb, and now some trouble here. NBK has picked up a double kill, and Cajun's gonna go down. Big kill coming in from Kenny S. And Config, is he gonna find the bomb? It's right there, and he can't actually stop NBK from taking it down. Looked like a couple of shots could have hit then, but he's completely smoked out, and they shouldn't give him any way back in this round.
No, they shouldn't, and also the money on North is gone, so Config's got to save. But that's what I'm talking about from G2. Get the rifles down drop, and you could see MSL falls, Valde falls on top of the boost on the tree. That's the riflers that are meant to protect Cage and be gone, and then he's forced into that peak on the left side of Statue, and Kenny knows it. He's just holding the angle. So that's perfect. That's exactly what G2 had to adjust, and they find a way to make their way into the bomb site. That's a big round. It's going to be their fourth. And I mean, you said 7 was the magic number for North. At 7-3, you're looking to add still more rounds, 2 to 3 more. It might get tough because they're going to be put into some economic woes. But obviously, after Inferno, this is an ideal half out of North. Although still, you have to say, to a certain degree, this is kind of a one-man army effort, except it's MSL this time instead of Config.
It is, and we also have to just accept the idea that if G2 get off to a good start on the second half, and they get double AWP, Shox and Kenny on either side of the map, it's not like that's going to be easy to break either when you're North. So right. I'd say they're putting in a strong foundation right now, but could be more to come. A couple of UMPs for Mars, that M4 and the saved AWP on Cajun, who has not had much luck over at this side. I think he's got 3 kills so far in the first 11 rounds, and this time, instead of waiting around, might want to challenge Kenny, but that's a mistake. Kenny takes him down. And the immediate Molotov follow-up. Valde trying to get into the broken wall. Actually makes the jump pass. That's very aggressive.
For as well prepared as North has been throughout these games of this event, that flashbang, I think it was a little bit off for not how they designed it, because Kenny didn't get blind whatsoever. Shox was blind behind the wall, but that's not the person they were aiming for. So Cajun punished, trying to be aggressive, trying to make up for the lack of the arsenal. And it's MSL who picks it up. He's had a great game with the rifle. We'll see if he's got any game with the AWP.
I mean, the flick onto Shox here when the peak comes in is going to have to be very quick. Shox has had a pretty good advantage. And now Kenny's here as well. I'd be surprised if Valde doesn't get Molotov out of the corner, though. Smoke could actually be timely. That's not bad at all. Putting pressure on Shox, and he decides to run through. Valde, easy kill there. That's very good timing, and MSL missing the one chance. Gonna get another, not quite. Valde has taken down Kenny, though. The 2 versus 3, and the bomb is being planted. Headshot from Apex, leaving AC in a 1-on-3 here. With the UMP, I mean, could linger around and try and get maybe an exit or two, but retaking is not easy.
Here's where the tough part for North on this defense. G2's found the opening. North is playing, you know, outside of drop zone. They're not actually challenging for it, so they're giving up control of that, and they're just trying to contain the G2 players inside of it, kill them as they exit, and that's not working. This is where G2 has altered their attack. That's no longer the main thrust of the attack coming from platform. It's coming from drop zone, so you have to apply a little bit more attention there if you're North, or else you're just going to keep getting beaten this half, and now it's that economic struggle. They bought into that round. They bought the 2 UMPs, the FAMAs to go next to the AWP, and nothing worked out for them. They're going to have to sit one out with just USPs. G2 back into this game after taking a timeout.
Gotta be worrying if you're North right now. They did get beat up a lot on Inferno. Once the French got started, it seemed like they were almost impossible, and eventually were impossible to stop. It's a good flick there. Apex looking to capitalize with a MAC-10, but gonna get shut down, and they are hunting Kenny as well. Can they get anything done with the AWP? Cajun taking NBK. Oh my god, what's happening here?
It's all right. I mean, G2, they still, I don't even think that North is necessarily going to go for this. I think they're just going to save these two weapons, but I like that call from NBK. They still, I mean, they're in a 2-on-2, but go for it because you know their economy's low, you know you've finally broken it. You want to keep that op out of his hands. You want to make sure they're buying those weapons if they really want to use them. Actually, Cajun is getting close by. No armor, no kits. Him and AZ going to try and crunch this bomb site from 2 different angles. It's got to be AZ taking lead and Cajun just bailing out if his teammate falls.
Cajun wants one good shot here, and it has to be really quick. I mean, if he can walk in and immediately take the shot, then it's probably worth it. But as soon as he realizes that it isn't there, he's not going to force it.
I mean, they just got close enough to see if someone from G2 is going to make a mistake and peek and then go for something and they catch him off guard, then it's a 2-on-1, then you go for it. But yeah, nothing doing here. So dangerous, but North is going to be happy. I think this is going to give them... I'm not sure if they would have bought in this round regardless. They probably would have. Everyone's sitting right around the mid 4,500-ish mark, right around there, give or take 200. So they probably would have bought anyway, but this gives them an AWP and an AK. It gives them 2 players with massive amounts of utility. So great find in this round for North.
What is the solution to that defense to every team that plays the CT side on this map? And
drop.
Yeah.
There's no good answer, is there? It's so difficult to play. I mean, you can pull all the Counter-Strike pros and ask them what's the most difficult spot on across all maps to play, and I would imagine that drop zone on Cobble is going to get the majority of the votes. No one likes playing it. I mean, with the game that MSL's having, you could probably be pretty confident. I think you buddy him up. I think you keep Cajun with the AWP. I think you put MSL and maybe the A rotator together to kind of try and double team that, to try and have some of the nades, challenge some of those fights on top.
We're going to find out now. Game has resumed. It was a tactical timeout for North, so maybe they were having a similar discussion. The scoreline is 7-6, favoring the Danish side. Good counter grenades coming out. Looked like maybe there was a rush about to come in here for G2. We were discussing that earlier. It is still really powerful, and now they're down the broken wall. Cajun gets one. Valde with a great double spray, and Cajun again taking Kenny down. Shox is going to fall. That is a nice hold. No one goes down. And G2, is that the sort of round you called because of the North timeout?
No, it could be, but I also, in my head, what I'm thinking is it's a good thing that I'm not, you know, North's in-game leader, because I think G2 is doing that call to counter the fact that they've had so much success in drop, maybe believing that North is going to apply a bit more pressure there on the defense, and you just blow up 5 players through the smoke, because if Valde's not underneath and you don't have MSL with that kind of a crossfire from his position, that's probably a round loss. But yes, I mean, it could be either one. It could be that, what I just said. It could also be out of the timeout. You just try and catch him off guard doing something fancy. And now G2 for the last round going to go back to this A, and that's a great flick from Config. He needs more. Not going to get it. Missing the second shot on Apex. Doesn't let go of the trigger.
And it's surprising to me that AC isn't nearby to help him out. Holding close in that corner with the AWP seems like something only a madman would do. But it is Config, so...
He's definitely mad.
Might be part of the explanation right there. 15th round, the last of the half here. And North has done a fairly good job, but they would love the 9th round. Again, they're a whole map down, so the pressure is on them to perform here. Shadow's going to show, and again, AZ, that's a really great pre-fire. Taking down one, and MSL winning the fight in middle. Not against Shox, though, so still a 2-on-2. They've got plenty of time here, G2. Don't need to panic just yet. Valde holding one diagonal line across the bomb site, while Cajun is rotating in with the AWP down towards the door as well. And G2 are wondering, is it worth it to just fall back?
It could be.
Kenny.
It's the timer that matters, is when do you think they're going to rotate over to the other site?
It's 20 seconds, so now they're pretty much committed. Bit of a jump there. Valde and Kenny see each other. That's a really good smoke. Gonna make life hard, but oh my god! Kenny calling Valde's bluff, and he's gonna go down. What on earth is happening? Kenny with a fantastic couple of kills makes it look easy, and he ends the first half at 14. That's gonna strike fear in your heart.
Yeah, those 2 kills from Kenny, that's what makes him so dangerous. Those are so fast. Obviously, the one, he had to have spotted that right before the smoke plume, but second shot into connector is beautiful. And a great half from G2, all things considered. Losing the pistol a couple rounds, then they run into some trouble, and they figure it out with the timeout. All right. This shot is the disgusting one. With the jump, Cajun doesn't even fire at that. He just doesn't have time to react. So 8-7 for North. Obviously much better than Inferno. They fought their way. They're still in this map. They don't have to make a comeback this time. Switching over to the T side.
What's the most exciting T pistol you can think of on this map? What a North? What's the most explosive thing they could do?
Just blow up drop. That would be the most exciting, wouldn't it? Just like
all 5?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
That's what we call in the matchmaking the rank S's of North America.
Rank G.
No, but that is like it is a very tough. That's where the question always comes on the CT side, because you think that drop problem, that's where the Glocks can get closest. On this map, there's a lot of ground to cover. So there's plenty of opportunities for these pistols to be effective. We're going to go out for 3 players towards long. How aggressive do they want to be? 2 players, it looked like, at drop. It's going to depend a lot on the success of these 3 players.
Oh, Apex. This is no fun at all. He's got the Deagle close range. Hearing a lot of stomping about. North, are they not going to check this? Kenny. One beautiful headshot. Apex for the kill on the Deagle. A second as well, and it's all falling apart. Headshot on Valder. And now, Config just... He's got the bomb site, but not much else. Val, that's ridiculous. Apex is gone, and I bet he has no idea why. Config, this should be unwinnable. He's trapped in the corner. He doesn't have the bomb. That's far away, and they know exactly where he is. Taking a bit more of a fight, and he eventually goes down to NBK. G2 winning a big round. Smith is excited, and G2 tying up the scoreline.
If you're running that strat, have you not cleared those danger stairs? That should be priority number 1 when you get around that corner, because the other half of the attack is going to come from that mid ramp. You have 2 players there who need to get by, and obviously the presence, and that is extremely. Oh, I love it.
That's amazing.
We need to bring that picture back. How did I forget about that?
The meme has actually been reincarnated in the middle of the grand final. I've never seen that ever happen before. Apex has to fall back right away, otherwise they're going to come and try and run him down. Last time he did a good job. This time, it's just pure running. He's not even going to fight it. Just letting on a bit of a trek down the stairwell. Good grenade on Cajun, who's the only one without any armor.
Kenny gets away with one. There's a gap in that smoke that I don't think he expected to be there at first, so fortunate that there's only pistols on the north side of things. 3 play. There we go, we're back. I believe North is going to readjust towards that B bomb site. So you have NBK over towards platform on these stairs. He's going to fall away. Shock's going to be under pressure first with the MP9. That's a good kill. He's got to fall away. He's got to back off. Aldi chasing it down, though. That's when Body pounces. It's a struggle to get the kill, but he does. And unfortunately, that's the bomb. North has to fight all the way over towards drop to get it. And it's too costly. Wipeout for G2. They managed that well.
See, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of time that fight goes on, the secondary fight, but it's long enough.
Yes.
It's just, an extra second and a half, but then the player by Chicken Coop has more space to work with. It's down to some pretty small details when you're at this level of Counter-Strike. 9-8, and G2 have the lead.
And again, NBK only investing in armor into this round, knowing it's going to be unarmored opponents. Don't waste the $3,000-$4,000 if you don't have to. Shox wants to stick around for this fight, knowing that they don't have armor, but he's brought down to 6. Baldi's going to chase him down. They don't want him to get away. They know he's low. They would love this kill. Body's trying to help out, and this might be expensive, but the nade comes in at the right moment. There they are, cleaning it all out. G2 Esports holds the line.
And that, Moses, is what friends are for.
That's what friends are for. It's the buddy system.
It is. Beautiful. G2 not giving up on their injured teammate, leave no man behind, and it's 10-8. So 2-round lead here, and I don't know, this is a very open game right now. I have no way of predicting how this is going to play out, but I am worried about the fact that Kenny is doing so well. He's actually outdoing MSL at the moment on 19 kills. Now he's on the CT side. How do they shut Kenny down? Because if they cannot, I don't think they can expect to win this map.
This is where, if you're North, you're kind of excited because you have Config, you have one of the best players in the world, and this is where you can pick and choose where to put him, and this is going to be a B execute. Shox is a big job to do, a lot of smoke in his face, but actually North decided not to come through it. They felt some kind of a presence. They've readjusted towards drop, so NBK is going to be the main brunt of defense. He's got to hold the line first.
hiding in the corner. A lot of people down in that drop, and they're gonna go for the boosted peak. Kenny falls back and is gonna hug NBK for a moment there as they're shuffling back and forth. It's so dangerous when there are this many people close by. NBK goes down. AC with a strong opening headshot. Now there's trouble on the bomb side, and Kenny, no chance at all. Apex charging in, and he's gonna get the kill, dropping the bomb. Suddenly, G2 are on the bomb side after all. Shox is gone next. Apex with a great headshot. He's already got the double. One more would do it, taking the economy away. He's on the stairwell. He's got the time, and a flick comes in. Apex with a triple, and that little cheeky smile. G2 up to 11. A gorgeous round.
A very hectic round because North wanted to execute much grenades, all the counter smokes from G2. If it's not for this flank, this timely flank from Apex, they likely do not win this round. They were about to be run over. Brilliant stuff from G2. Some confusing rotations around drop though. With Kenny S's AWP still, they get away with it. It's back to pistols for the north side of things. They have utility this time, and Config wants to get aggressive. He wants to make something happen. He knows Shox is up here waiting for the reload. And now he slowly creeps through. No footsteps made. There's the shots. There's the kill. He's going for one more. NBK in the open. He's open for the deagle, but it's not coming in.
He goes down to Config in the second barrage. Body has to be very careful. He can't go down here. He's going to have to stick around and defend Kenny. Otherwise, he's alone with the AWP in those double doors. And this time, the flank for Apex is not quick enough. Valde comes charging through. And as you see now, they put the pressure on Kenny. He missed. He does get the shot on Valde, but he has to back off. Apex, can he open it up again? This time, he's going to fall. And you said it, Config. Such a strong player. Triple in the round. And North winning a critical round here at the Grand Finals. 11-9 the scoreline.
Oh, Shox uses the entirety of all of his bullets going through that smoke, and that's when Config comes through with the kill. He got NBK just at the end. That's a fortunate shot. And just to point out how much this game sometimes comes down to those half-second timings, Body is waiting for that push through the smoke over by Chicken Coop, but he turns for a teammate's flashbang to push through it, for him to take over some of the control of that site. And as he looks away, he gets pushed. Unfortunate for him, but still, that's a huge win for North.
You can see the focus in Shoxy's eyes right now. That face that just looks so worried.
He does look sad at times, doesn't he?
He does. It's been, I think, too many tournaments where he's had to go out and give everyone a hug, and it's about time that he brings it back. They did win this battle last time. It seems like North have improved since. It could get a bit scary if they can't win this map, and map 3 comes up. It's obviously what everyone wants to see at this point in time. 11-9, as we said. The AWP is still in play on Kenny, so nobody is safe on the north side.
Oh, definitely not. Shox, though, is pushed up down mid. He's going to have Apex that helps him out and baits for him. Meanwhile, North is taking control of the A side of the map, the A halls. Got Valde and AZ watching for a B push, so still split across the map, but the bomb is here towards A. Just having a presence there, pushing back any aggressive defense at the A bomb site, and Kenny, they've spotted out the op. They know where it is now as he fires a shot.
It's good confirmation. Nice timing for Apex. If they get close to the MP9 in middle, maybe Shox could make it work, but he isn't quite sure yet. And now there's a pretty big force from G2 over at the A side here. Putting a lot of faith, I think, in Kenny over at the plateau to get the shot in case anyone comes through. We're down to 30 seconds, so the Danish side, they have to make up their minds. And given the fact that the bomb is over here, you think this might just be a B push eventually. Just 20 seconds, flash into the middle. A great setup here. Body gonna get one, and Shox will follow it up close range. Now Kenny, the only one standing on the bomb site. One kill here would probably settle it. 10 seconds left now. 9 seconds. Flick comes in on Valde, dropping the bomb. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. He can just get the bomb, I think, in the last couple of seconds. One, and it's gonna come in. That is as close as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. And now, AC and Cajun, this is the round. 2 versus 4. They've got the rifles, they've got the AWP. Bit of a spray comes in from AC, but he can't make it work. And Cajun, so much left. He gets one. They're coming in from all angles. He's out in the open. He's down to NBK. What a round from G2.
Kenny just barely holding on. He saves it. He was rotating away and just, I think, realized that he was susceptible to the B platform. He was staring at drop. Great idea from North, but it was the bait and switch in mid that does it. Nice job from the G2 defense, just getting back in time. So now North, that's tough. They just win the round with pistols and they got to go right back into a loss. But they still have money. That's the benefit. They salvaged a lot of weapons in that pistol, in that force buy win. So now Cajun still has the AWP. It's still pretty much a full buy for this T side.
There's not such a big gap as it was on Inferno, but a double AWP always going to be a bit worrying. MSL, do you really want to play this game?
Shocks.
The yeah, the AWP on the other side could be very dangerous. Again, 3 men outside of the B bomb side. Is MSL creeping on in here with Config behind him. Shox really close range, and Apex is there. It's a dangerous crossfire. Shox wants to peek it. This could be perfect timing, but what a headshot. MSL taking down Shox. Did not expect to see that. This is a strong start.
Yeah, Shox seemed so hesitant. It seemed like he wanted to take it, but it was so slow going. Never really actually made the peek or the commit to the fight. He gets picked off. Now, to G2's credit, they haven't moved anyone. Still trusting in Apex. He's probably telling them everything is fine over at A. But Apex needs to live. He cannot fall here to Config. And North at the moment is saying he's either going to be a lurker or they say make the play, make the contact, and then we execute B based off of what you get. Looks like he's going to be more of a lurking role as they're down drop already. Body is here behind the wall, and NBK inside the bomb site, 2-man defense. There's Apex on a Config on the other side of the map, but it's Body and NBK. You hold it down, and now everyone's getting eliminated. North makes no progress on a knife's edge, and it goes the way of G2. AZ trying for something, but no one gives him any peeks.
Such a great defense. Not easy if you're G2 to make the call to just have Apex there. But they have a 3-man stack at the B bomb site, and they're gonna make it 13 rounds here. Getting closer to that grand final victories. They are just 3 rounds away now, and North must be able to feel the pressure.
Yeah, they absolutely are at the moment. AZ has the AWP, and a timeout is called by them because everyone else is sitting right around $2,000, give or take. So if you want to buy around this AWP, if you feel like this is the decision they have to make, do they think the AWP is the answer? And if they do, they have to buy here with it. If not, they have to save around, let G2 get up towards 14, and you have a better buy in the next round. And that's the decision you make if you're North at the moment.
The whole grand finals riding on the end of this map here. North did a great job in the first half, but the second half they have been completely stuck in their tracks. They just can't get out. G2 are looking like such a powerful team right now. And that AWP on Kenny, it's a problem that they just can't solve right now. He's too good, and they have no good answers for it at all.
No, they really don't, especially considering how he's being used. We saw him at the B bomb site at one time when G2 was on low, a half buy, that he's basically used to just man down one side of the map and let everyone else deal with the other side. Again, he's over towards A. Apex is cheating towards B just in case. Now he's pretty much committed. AZ throwing some nades. You're not going to bring extra attention to the B bomb site without throwing a body at it if you're AZ, so Kenny and Apex don't need to budge.
And the fact alone that Kenny is over on this side again just makes it so unpredictable if you're North. He's been B quite a bit. And now over by that truck. 55 seconds. Deciding to go and peek in towards the plateau just to find out who's there. Kenny flashed, and he's not going to get the kill, but Apex will get a great double before he's finally returned upon. And now Kenny's in position here. They don't have the Molotov to dig him out of this corner. AZ really wants a headshot on Body. Not going to get it just yet. This P250's lethal though. But Kenny's taking down Valder in the meantime. Body drops an MBK with maybe the most critical kill of the round there. Taking down Cajun. AZ comes charging out. It's 14 rounds for G2. They are almost there. The focus is incredible here. This team has really suffered in the past from making silly mistakes deep in games like these. doesn't seem to be happening now.
No, and they've also suffered from at times appearing disorganized, but it seems they've put the work and they have the setups. From Kenny S and Apex, that's huge dedication to that setup. It's again, it's that, you know, Kenny grabs the attention, Apex close up, surprises North, but they don't have any information of what's coming mid that entire time. No one peeked it. They were just focused. So just trusting in the fact that they had the right read in the round. And now it's truly desperation for North. As I said, with that buy, with the full investment around that op, that was their last hope. This is just so tough. Glocks, unarmored, body and shocks, even blind. He's getting kills everywhere. They're mowing him down. They're getting closer to the trophy. One round away is G2.
It's a good attempt here from North. Sometimes you can get lucky with the right flashbang. They got the flashbang, but Shocks just wasn't interested anyway.
Again, the buddy system coming up huge for G2.
Yeah, it's very impressive what we're witnessing here. They did it at the Pro League final, and they might be taking the DreamHack Masters trophy as well. 15-9. This G2 team under a lot of criticism, pretty much from the inception.
Yes.
People were not pleased with their performances. They were expecting more out of this star-studded lineup, but it's starting to really work. You're seeing what it's all about here.
In all fairness as well, they weren't happy with some of their performance as well, and they said it was going to be a long-term project, and they said they were going to work on it. And we're starting to see the results of that work.
Battle here, and Kenny to take down MSL. Not the way you want to get started in a round like this. 3 versus 5, and G2 looking phenomenal. An almost indestructible team in this tournament. Kenny sneaking down, and I think he might have even spotted the bomb, so they should know what's coming. A bit of a mission. Flashbang comes in, and Shocks at least is being forced back, but eventually Cajun has to win this fight against Kenny. He hasn't been able to all game long, and finally he does. I don't want to say it's light at the end of the tunnel. There's more to come. Shocks by the chicken coop, and they're trying to see if they can bait out the shot, but he's not buying, taking down Valder and falling in behind cover. He wants to take this fight. He wants to end this game. AC and Cajun, they know they're in trouble. 30 seconds on the clock, and the bomb is on the other side while the fight is happening here. Body coming really close to AC, and there's the headshot, and it's all on Cajun B. 20 seconds in a 1 versus 4 here. G2 Esports have played an incredible tournament, and they're just 1 kill away, and it's gonna happen. 16-9 as G2 are your DreamHack Masters champions. Amazing.
From start to finish in these games, G2 has looked so focused, so prepared, dismantling a team that we said the very same thing about just yesterday. Kenny S with the opping in this grand final was phenomenal, and the whole team coming through. No questions about their play here today.
Phenomenal to see it. You mentioned that fateful game back in 2015 where Kenny disappeared on this very map. This time he was here with an amazing performance. They win the grand finals. Your champions, ladies and gentlemen, G2.
I say we let him go for a minute. What do you think?
Sorry?
I say we let him go for a minute. What do you think?
What?
I say we let him go. The crowd's hyped. What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing.
It is. Congratulations. You guys have grabbed the big W here at DreamHack Malmö. How do you feel?
Oh, I mean, we were not coming into this tournament expecting a win. So, I mean, we've taken it game by game, and we took down some of the biggest beasts in the world. I mean, the feeling is great in our team. I mean, obviously we just won, but I mean, the fashion everything we showed, the way we played as a team, I mean, it is a very good fitting.
You're saying the best of the best, and that is certainly true. SK, NiP, and now North have fallen to your guns. And looking forward, North putting up a good fight here. Talk to me a little bit about their battle back.
I mean, it was a tough game. Like on Inferno, we kind of lost ourselves on the city side. They had some good rounds, and they just pushed Banana every single round. Aside from that, I mean, Cobble was a tough fight. We just managed to win the economy battle. That was the most important. And yeah, we just locked down the bomb sites and managed to know more or less what they were doing, make the good gambles. So yeah, I mean, just proud of the way the team played.
When you came into this matchup, there was a little bit of time to prepare, knowing that your opponent was going to be North. What did you guys look to capitalize on here?
Nothing at all. I mean, just shutting down Config because he's an amazing player, and I mean, he showed it time and time again. And aside from that, I mean, we played our game, focused on ourselves. We were not sure what the maps were going to be. And yeah, it just happened.
It just kind of happened. That's exactly how that works. Looking at this, though, when a player like Apex comes online, and honestly, he's been putting them down all tournament long, how much easier is it for you guys?
I mean, due to the fact that he is also leading Mirage and that he prepared the map, he showed up individually. I mean, he's by far the MVP of the tournament.
Now, one last question I have for you. And a team that has seen its inconsistency, is this a new chapter for G2?
Hope so. I mean, we've been working on that, working on the basic and trying to grind one game after another. And hopefully we can grind one even on top of another. And that's the only thing we're aiming for.
That's all it is. It's building blocks, baby. All right, well, I'm going to throw it one last time over to the desk where Alex and the boys are waiting by.
It's a feeling not everyone gets in competitive Counter-Strike, but this time, the pleasure is all G2's. The French roster that are up and down all over the shop. Now they're on the high as they'll be walking through this stadium, doing their signings, looking at that trophy and realizing it is indeed theirs. They are your champions of DreamHack Masters, Malmö. A long time coming, perhaps, for them, as the Samurais get another trophy for their cabinet. And it was quite swift as well. 2 games is all it took to best North, a team that have been equally as exciting here in Sweden, and the growth for both of these teams is apparent. What a game, Chad.
Yeah, they did it back in Dallas in the Pro League Finals, and they did it again. Very convincing, or at least it looked that way for the most part. Config did the best he could on that first map, but on the second, it just looked all to be G2. That fight back in the second part of the first half was phenomenal. Great to see. Kenny S putting up big numbers, getting it done for the boys.
Yeah, and, equally impressive to see that G2's way of actually winning both maps was, following the similar recipe on both T sides. You could see immediate pressure towards one bomb site to kind of just keep North very honest about how they need to set up their CT setups and that kind of stuff. So eventually it allows for G2 to just by default get more room to work with eventually. And after more or less struggling to figure out how to actually deal with Plateau and Cajun, especially MSL, playing that sidewalk position, they make a very nice adaptation of putting more focus down towards drop. It takes a bit too long for North to actually figure out what's going on in that period of time, and that allows for G2 to actually have a bit of a salvaged T side. But they've been very clear about how they wanted to approach their T sides in this finals, and I think that's a sign of a bit of a new chapter in G2's storyline. The fact that they're actually no longer necessarily relying on just going out and being individuals. Now they're actually focused on doing stuff as a team, more so than ever.
And they won it as a team as well. Photo time, you can see Shocks there.
What a pose.
What a pose.
That's like paint me like one of your French ladies pose.
Yeah, we have Shocks, NBK, Apex, Body, and Kenny S. The 5 of them alongside Smith, their coach, NK, their analyst, all coming together, all the tools in the right place. And it is indeed picture time. The fans certainly will be chasing these boys, champions here in Sweden. Janko, we haven't heard your thoughts yet. To see G2 do it, you had had faith in them in the first map, expecting to see a third, and they've gone and exceeded all expectations.
Yeah, they played really well in this series. You could see what we were talking about in the pre-game that they are going to have a lot of confidence coming into the game against North because of previous results they had against them, most notably the Pro League finals where they defeated them in a best-of-5 finals. And you could tell in the second half on that Cobblestone game, 2 consecutive rounds where G2 is at a disadvantage. They make the correct gambles. When North tries to execute the fake, they have 3 players stacked towards A. They have all the information, they shut it down. Following round, they're in a 4v5 situation. You can see how they left Apex alone towards A, still had 3 players towards B. I think that comes from the confidence. I think maybe against another team, you know, they make that extra rotation and North perhaps gets entrance into the bomb side. But G2 very much on point throughout the whole tournament. Didn't really, you know, have a serious struggle despite that one map that was closed against NIP, and yes, the scare against SK Gaming where they made the comeback.
Their path to lift that trophy. They best none other than their French rivals Envy after, of course, that French roster shuffle. They follow that with a best of 3 versus grand finalists of the most recent major Immortals. And then the battle begins versus SK Gaming. They do get the double Brazilian brilliance and they take them both down. And following that, we have a nice, solid road as they, yes, as much as the crowd are giving them love, they did take the favorites out of this one, at least the crowd favorites, NIP, to take them to this point now, as North are the last team for them to, the last scalp for them to take.
Not only that, Alex, they notch their first mark in their belt for the Intel Grand Slam. So that's nice for G2 to put that one there.
Absolutely. 4 is the magic number for that. 4 wins amongst the DreamHack Masters, IEM, Pro League, and all of those goodies combined, as well as ESL 1, will get you an extra $1 million in your back pocket. So that's a step in the right direction. SK actually had it taken away from them, none other than G2. So it's like, no, you can't have it. It's our turn to get 1 notch on the belt. 4 is the match. Doesn't sound like much.
Doesn't really, does it?
Only 4 tournament wins.
Major tournaments.
Out of 10. Yeah.
I think G2's next chance might be at Oakland if they qualify or get invited, and then after that it could be Pro League finals. They're not going to be in New York, which is the next one.
Oh, okay. So there'll be a chance for someone else to go ahead and start chasing, maybe even SK. With all of that considered, I mean, if I asked you guys to name a tournament MVP, I mean, we'll do a match MVP as well. I think actually that's clear. We'll do that first. Kenny S has been decided by you guys. Just top of the scoreboard, but also his impact in the game. I mean, we sit there in the green room so many times, Jan, can we just go, Kenny doesn't miss these, or Kenny doesn't lose these. Consistent presence in the server, or how does he hit these?
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of questions asked of the French AWPer, who's done what he couldn't last time on that, you know, or previously on that grand stage. Cobble especially, a bit of a scary one for him, but he's gone and kind of broken the curse.
Absolutely, and he's also had a great game against North in that Pro League final, so he as well seems to be very comfortable playing against this team. He doesn't have an AWPer, you know, Cajun on the other side. He is more passive, more defensive. He doesn't have someone who's necessarily going to challenge him early on and try to pick him off. And you could see how, you know, the teamwork is there for G2. Apex going first in front of Kenny, taking that hit, and then Kenny can make all those trades and open up the bomb site for his team.
To see a team like this, with players like this, but also every single time they're interviewed and asked, you know, what have you been doing? Where has this win come from? It does just come back to that simple answer from Nathan or whoever it is, just saying, yeah, we're just focusing on our own game.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, I mean,
so fun.
I guess also, you know, post-game interviews after you win the tournament, the players aren't really, you know, they're not going to go in depth and think things through. It's just the usual generic answers most of the time. But I think still G2, there's a significant amount of work for them to be done if they're going to be a consistent contender, right? This is, I don't think it's a surprise for anyone that G2 comes and has a great tournament and wins it, but what's going to be a surprise is if they manage to repeat it at the next one or one of the following 2 or 3 tournaments, right? Same thing happened. Pro League, they come, they win the tournament, then ECS finals, Cologne, Major, nothing happens. 3 huge tournaments in a row and they're nowhere to be found. So G2 needs to find a way to get performances like this on a more consistent basis.
Everyone does. Consistency is key, especially if you won that Intel Grand Slam. I guess we have to start talking about Counter-Strike. It's the game we've been talking about for 16 hours a day, and you guys have been watching as well. But I think, you know, we had a player break. We had a roster mania, and now we've had our first offline event since that. And so, gents, I mean, what have we learned? It's been a whole, a week of Counter-Strike at the highest level with some of the most crazy kind of not only vetoes, we've had teams not succeeding, we've had teams we weren't expecting to succeed, boss it to the semi-finals. I mean, Chad, if you had to review this tournament and review Counter-Strike currently, what would be your top 3 lessons?
I've made some really bold statements over the course of this week,
yeah.
Alex. I actually think that FaZe, I don't think this iteration of the roster is going to be as successful as the last. That's one of the big ones to take away for me. I think Astralis and SK need to reapproach the way that they look at the game and maybe go in with more gumption, actually want to impose their will, play proactive as opposed to reactive Counter-Strike, something that I've definitely said they're fantastic at, but they need to maybe look at how they go about addressing that when they get into a match. And from there, I think Gambit, they're showing they're more legit. I'm still, look, I got sold, I got a little bit unsold.
You're being teased
I'm
and
just
poked
on
around.
so I don't know where to be exactly with them and Immortals. It's going to take time to see where these teams kind of even out, where they end up being if they get figured out.
One team you actually forgot about, though. Have you lost all faith in Virtus Pro?
I could never lose all faith in Virtus Pro, unfortunately.
Okay, fair.
I'm sorry.
No,
That's
fair. I've been there many a times.
Yeah.
And I'm on the brink right now.
Yeah, I mean, I almost forgot that we had VP at this tournament. We had Cloud9 at this tournament. We had,
We only had them for a day. So
Even that. There's a couple of hours.
That, Alex.
I spaced on that when we saw Na'Vi. We kind of weren't sure what they were going to be doing without Guardian. I guess there's more to be. The question is just more time. We had that that was a summation for a lot of the teams we lost early in the tournament. However, what about you? Is anything to add to the pile? Gambit showed that they don't need Zeus.
Yeah.
We've seen North show that Valder is positive and there is positivity surrounding the Danes. I mean, what else?
Honestly, Chad did a really good job of summing up pretty much the big highlights.
Didn't touch on the Astralis boys, though.
Didn't touch on the Astralis boys. Well, he did, actually. You lie, because he mentioned SK and Astralis both need to reapproach their game plan.
Strokes.
So there you have it.
Okay, readdress the game.
Yeah, no, but in by and large, I think it's, again, a common trend when you see roster changes or longer breaks. It's going to be a matter of time for a lot of these teams, and I think we saw that there's a lot of irks and quirks that they need to sort out. But obviously, they will have the second part of the season to do so. But overall, I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised by how high level we saw throughout this tournament from plenty of the teams, and especially G2, obviously, who end up winning the entire tournament. But the fact that they, you do see progress from time to time after having quite a long period of just seeing this. The same teams do the same mistakes over and over again, and you do kind of burn out on that and kind of repeating yourself as a bit of a broken record every time you mention them. So to see some progress is always welcome.
Absolutely. Outside of all of that, guys, we've been playing a game that isn't Counter-Strike. We're playing the prediction game, and we do have a champion. Now, word on the street is he's not here.
Yeah.
It's Pimp. Pimp wins.
Congratulations, Jacob, wherever you may be. We've got a gorgeous trophy for you.
Must be nice. I didn't know you can lose points.
Yeah, because that was wrong, Yanko. I told you time and time again. We fixed it up.
Okay,
Chad.
It's right now.
So that means this trophy will be going in his cabinet.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah, but that means we're going to get Jacob's face on this bad boy.
Yeah, for the next event.
For the next event. Chad, are you proud of your creation?
I am.
What
I might make a better creation for the next one.
But I like this one. What? It has such
it's
prestige
the version
attached
2.
to it. Maybe we could paint it.
Maybe we'll have a collection of trophies.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I like this. I like the sound of that. Anyway, this trophy isn't anything like what G2 have been rocking, so we're going to go ahead and put this one away for now. And we'll say our goodbyes. Gents, absolute pleasure to share the desk with you and have another week of Counter-Strike. You enjoyed our time off, but it's back on the grind, Jenko.
Yeah, we had a couple of good drafts, Alex. The pool has been pretty wide.
Shots ran out of mana.
A couple of great comebacks and a few disasters. So all in all, I think a strong start to the second part of the year.
Yeah, second part of the year kicks off with a bang in Malmö, and we've got so many questions that need answering over more tournaments now. However, you had a good time?
I had a blast. Super fun to attend my first Masters. Lovely to spend time with you, gents, on the desk, and looking to do it more as 2017 chugs along.
Ninjas couldn't make it to that grand final, but they did make an impact. We haven't talked too much about the Swedes, but the jerseys in Malmö were plenty, and I'm sure we'll see them back next time here in Malmö. The Masters series just continue. You'll be seeing many more of them. Chad, you had a good time in the beautiful Sweden. You saw so much of it, I'm sure,
when we got evacuated for the fire, I saw that fountain, which is a face spewing water. I thought that was quite nice. But maybe I'll take a quick look this evening, see what's around.
Should we go for a wander?
Yeah.
We'll go for a walk. We'll go do some things outside. And you should too, because you've been joining us for another DreamHack Masters event. Your DreamHack Masters Malmö 2017 champions are the French side G2, and now all it does is set the scene for another fantastic half a year of Counter-Strike. Rosters have changed, and now as the dust settles, we wait to see who will truly be the master of 2017. Thank you so much for joining us here in Sweden. We've been DreamHack. It's been a whole long day, and now you can go to bed happy knowing that G2 are your champions.